Good morning. I'm Dr. Wilson Paul, Associate Professor, Department of Corporate Secretaryship of KCS Kosanagar College of Art and Science. Now, I'm going to handle the 5th semester subject named Management Accounting, Chapter Margin Costing. Let's see the definition of margin cost. Marginal cost is the additional cost of producing an additional unit of a product. So that is a simple definition. Now let us see how ICMA London has defined this marginal cost. The amount of any given volume of output by which aggregate costs are changed if the volume of output is increased or decreased by 1 unit. In practice, this is measured by the total variable cost attributable to 1 unit. So that is how it is defined in ICMA London definition. Now let us see. Thus, the margin cost is the difference in cost of producing one additional unit. If the let us take an example. If the cost of producing 10 units is rupees 1000 and the total cost of producing 11 units is 1080, then the marginal cost of the 11th unit is rupees 80. The marginal cost of other variable costs. In other words, it is a variable cost. Now, therefore, from the above, it is clear that variable cost is rupees 80 per unit, which means for producing 1 unit, the variable cost is 80. And if I'm producing 11 units, my variable cost will be 880. For 1 unit, if it is 80, for 11 units, it should be 880. Now, let us analyze. The total cost of 11 unit is 1080 as it is said earlier. Now from this 1080, if I'm going to remove this 880, there's a other cost which is hidden over there, a 200 rupees cost. It is called as fixed cost. This cost will not increase with the increase in output, but variable cost will increase with every increase in output. Okay. Now, in short, in other words, the variable cost will keep increasing with every increase in output, whereas the fixed cost will not increase in rise in output or decrease in output. From the above example, it is clear that there are two types of expenses involved in this cost. That is a variable cost and the fixed cost. Now, therefore, the total cost is nothing but the fixed cost plus variable cost, or variable cost plus fixed cost. Both means one and the same. From the above, if I want to find the variable cost, I can take the total cost and subtract the fixed cost from that. Then I will get my variable cost. Okay. Now, let us see the next slide. Now, let us see some important concepts and terms for understanding. In this chapter, there are certain terms and concepts you should understand before going through the chapter. The first one, the fixed cost. Fixed cost which will not increase with the increase in output, as I said earlier in the previous slide, and it will remain same till full capacity of the production is achieved, that is 100%. Next, the variable cost. It is a cost which will increase with the increase in output, and it will not remain same. So I hope you understood the difference between the fixed cost and variable cost. In short, fixed cost remain constant for all levels of production. Variable cost keeps increasing and decreasing with the increase or decrease in output. Now, we'll go to the third concept, the contribution. Contribution is the difference between the sale and variable cost. Since it is contributing towards the fixed cost and profit, it is called contribution. It is a very important concept as it is used to find the profitability of a product. Now, the fourth concept is PV ratio or profit volume ratio, or contribution to sales. We can call as contribution to sales ratio. It is an important ratio analyzing the relationship between the sales and contribution. A high PV ratio indicates high profitability and a low PV ratio indicates low profitability. Therefore, this PV ratio can be increased by controlling and reducing the variable cost and also by increasing the selling price per unit. In other words, the PV ratio will remain same throughout the sum unless and otherwise there is any change in the variable cost per unit or the selling price per unit. In all other cases, the PV ratio will remain same throughout the sum. I'll repeat, if there's increase in or decrease in variable cost, then there will be a change in PV ratio. Next, if there is any increase or decrease in selling price per unit also, in that case also you can find a increase or decrease in PV ratio will change. So this is an important concept. Please keep that in mind. The next one, BEP, break-even point. Break-even point analysis is method of studying relationship between the revenue and cost in relation to sales volume of a business. It is an analysis that helps us to determine the level of activity where total sales are equal to total cost. In other words, no profit, no loss. It is all you all understood, I believe. BEP is nothing but no profit, no loss. In other words, the total cost will be equal to total sales. In that point, you call it as break-even point. Next concept will be your marginal cost, safety. Margin of safety. It indicates the cushion or safety margin available to the firm in terms of sales revenue. In other words, it is a level where sales cannot be further decreased. If the sales goes below this level, the company will be certain to suffer loss in the production. Thus, margin costing acts as an indicator that the sales level of a company is in danger level. That is, I'll repeat, MO is nothing but marginal safety. Marginal safety is an indicator. It acts as an indicator. That is, below the certain level of this, the sales cannot decrease. If it's going to go below this certain level, which is an indicator of the margin of safety, if it goes below that level, it is certain that the company is going to suffer a loss. So that is the concept of your margin of safety. Now we'll go to the next slide. Now let us see the list of formula that are used in this marginal costing. The first, the marginal cost and the contribution cost statement. How it is found? The sales minus your variable cost will give you contribution. And if you are going to reduce from the contribution a fixed cost, the remaining will be your profit. So this is a basic concept in your margin costing statement. I'll repeat, from the sales, if you're going to minus your variable cost, the remainder is called contribution. And from the contribution, if you're going to remove the fixed cost, the remainder will be called as profit or loss. If it is a positive, it is called as profit. If it is a negative, you call it as loss. Okay. Now, from the above, we can derive the certain formulas as it is listed here. You can see. So, the variable cost can be found from the total cost minus fixed cost, as I said earlier. And the next way is sales minus your contribution will give you variable cost. The difference in sales and contribution will give you the variable cost. You can find the variable cost in this method also. It is not that only total cost minus fixed cost will give you variable cost. It can be found in the other way. The sales minus your contribution will give you fixed cost. Then how to find the fixed cost from the above statements. Fixed cost can be contribution minus profit or contribution plus loss, then total cost minus variable cost. As I said, for variable cost, total cost minus fixed cost will give you variable cost. The same way, total cost minus variable cost will give you fixed cost. Now, next, contribution. Contribution is equal to sales minus variable cost. And the other way is profit. When you add your profit plus fixed cost, will give you contribution. The reverse way, from the back. Then the third important formula for contribution is sales into PV ratio. When you multiply the sales with the PV ratio, will give you contribution. So these are important formula. We'll see some more formulas in the next slide. The other formulas are the PV ratio. Now we'll go to the PV ratio. It is a continuation of the list of formula. To find the PV ratio, there are three ways we can use. Three formulas are there to find the PV ratio. One, the total contribution by total sales into 100 will give you PV ratio. The second one, the contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit into 100 will also give you PV ratio. The third formula for finding the same PV ratio is change in profit divided by change in sales into 100 will also give you PV ratio then. Which means there are three ways where you can find your PV ratio. Then break-even point or break-even sales. There are four ways where you can find your break-even sales. The first method, fixed cost divided by contribution into sales will give you PV ratio. Next one, fixed cost divided by contribution per unit into selling price per unit will give you BEP. The third method, fixed cost divided by PV ratio will give you BEP. And the third one is a frequently used one. Then fourth method, BEP units into selling price per unit will also give you the break-even point. So there are four ways where you can find the break-even point. Any method which you use, the first formula, the second formula, or the third or the fourth one, will get the same answer. The answer is not going to differ depending upon the formula. Okay. Then break-even units we are going to see now. Fixed cost divided by contribution per unit will give you break-even units. The second way is BEP sales divided by selling price per unit will give you break-even units. Next, we're going to see the margin of safety. Margin of safety, how it is calculated? It is the difference between the actual sales minus BEP sales. In other words, the second way, the profit divided by PV ratio. So any formula you're going to use, you'll get the same. You will arrive at the same answer. There's no difference in answer by using the formula. If you're going to use the first formula or if you're going to use the second formula for margin of safety, the answer is going to be the same. The answer is not going to differ in any way. Then the next one, margin of safety in units. How to find? Margin of safety divided by selling price per unit will give you margin of safety in units. Then sales required to earn a desired profit. That is, if I want to earn a desired profit, what should be my sales? Which means predetermining my profit. If I want to arrive at 3 lakh rupees profit, what should be my sales now? For that, the formula will be fixed cost plus desired profit divided by PV ratio. The same way, how many number of units I should sell to get this profit at the desired profit? For that also there is a formula. Fixed cost plus desired profit divided by contribution per unit. Then profit from given sales. If I want to find a profit for a particular given sale, for example, I want to know if I'm going to sell 10 lakh rupees, what should be my profit? What will be my profit? So if I want to determine the profit beforehand, So I can use this formula. That is the profit from the given sales. Which means the company is not yet arrived at the sales, but they want to predict what should be their sales if the company is going to increase the sales to 10 lakh. Now they may be working at 5 lakh rupees sales. Okay, then for that the formula will be given sales. What are the given sales in the sum into PV ratio will give you contribution. That is, there are two ways, the two steps in this. The first step is given sales into PV ratio will give you contribution. And the answer, for arriving at the answer for profit, contribution minus fixed cost. The one we found out, the contribution, the fixed cost is which is already given in the sum. So the fixed cost is not going to differ throughout the sum. The fixed cost will be same throughout the sum. There is no difference in fixed cost. Next, composite BEP. The total fixed cost divided by composite PV ratio will give you composite BEP. The total fixed cost divided by composite PV ratio will give you composite BEP. Okay. Now, so these are the list of formulas. Okay. So you must be thorough with these formulas. Without knowing the formula, we cannot work out the sums. Please make it sure without knowing the formulas, it is very difficult to work out the sums. You must know it by heart, because there are in certain cases, for example, if you take a BEP, there are 4 formulas are there. There are 4 formulas are there. Which formula is used in which situation? That is more important. For the given data in the sum, you might be using the third formula. Sometimes you might be using the first formula. Okay. If I'm not able to use the first formula, second formula, third formula, I have to use only the fourth formula. So there are times we'll use any one of the formula. So which means you must be thorough with all the formulas. Only then you can analyze which formula is suitable for this particular sum. So you must analyze. So only how you can do that analysis? Only when you know all the formulas. So if you know all the formulas, you can analyze and do which formula will suit this sum, this particular sum. For that matter, for example, your PV ratio. The 3 formulas are there. If the problem says there are per unit data in the sum, in that case you can use the second formula. And if there is 2 different sales and 2 different profits are given, then you can use the third formula, change in profit by change in sales. When the 2 sales are there, 2 profits are there, you can compare them one with the other and find what is the change. So that is the way. So only when you know all the formulas, you can work out the sum. Without knowing all the formulas, it is highly impossible to do the sums. So that analysis is required. Depending upon the sum, from the sum, you should decide which formula you should use. For example, the margin safety also, there are 2 formulas are there. Either you are going to use the first formula or second formula. That purely depends upon the sum, the data that is available in the question. Okay. If you are given 2 answers, that is actual sales and BEP sales in the sum, you can use the first formula for margin of safety. And if you are not given the actual sales and BEP sales, you have to use the next formula, profit by PV ratio. So only when you know all the formulas, you can analyze which one is apt to be used in this particular sum. Okay, we'll go to the next slide now. Let us see some simple problems in working out this margin costing subject chapter. Compute the contribution and profit from the following. The sales is given as 2,50,000. A margin costing is, or the variable cost. In other words, what is the name for margin cost? Is nothing but the variable cost. It's given as rupees 1 lakh, and the fixed cost is given as 50,000 rupees. Now, we know to find out contribution by using the formula sales minus variable cost. The sales is 2,50,000. The variable cost is 1 lakh. The remainder is 1,50,000. That is your contribution. Then, from the contribution, you're going to minus the fixed cost, will give you the profit. So the problem asks you to find contribution and profit. So for finding the contribution, what you do, sales minus variable cost is contribution. For finding the profit, after finding the contribution minus the fixed cost from that will give you profit. Okay, so let us see the next sum. What is PV ratio in the following case? Sales is given as 4 lakh, variable cost is given as 3 lakh, and the fixed cost is given as 40,000 rupees. Okay, I'll repeat. In this particular, in the second sum, the data given as sales is 4 lakh, variable cost is 3 lakh, and the fixed cost is 40,000. Now, for PV ratio, we know there are three formulas are there. One, sales, contribution divided by sales into 100. The second formula, contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit into 100. And the third formula, change in profit divided by change in sales into 100. So these are the three formulas that are available, provided if you remember the formulas. So only when you know the formula, when you know all the formulas, you can analyze which one is used in this particular sum, depending on the data available. Here we don't have two sales, we don't have two profits, which means we cannot use a third formula. In the same way, excuse me, the same way, we cannot use a second formula also, where you need per unit. In the sum, we cannot see per unit given in the sum. Therefore, we can use a third formula. First formula, sorry. There are the formula for this is contribution by sales into 100. For finding the contribution, we know the formula is sales minus variable cost. For the above sum, 4 lakh minus 3 lakh will give you 1 lakh. That is your contribution. Then, using the formula, 1 lakh divided by sales into 100, that is, the formula is contribution by sales into 100, will give you 25%. That is the answer. Okay. I am not able to use the second formula, I am not able to use the third formula in PV ratio. Why? Because the data given here says I can use only the first formula. So I am repeating here, only when you know the formulas thoroughly. In other words, if there's three formulas are there, if you know only all the three formulas, you can come to a conclusion which formula is usable, apt to use in this particular sum. Okay, we'll go to the next sum. Now we'll do the third sum. Calculate the PV ratio from the following data. For the year 2006, sales is 6 lakh. The profit for the year is 2006 is 1 lakh. And the sales for the year 2007 is 10 lakh. And the profit for the year 2007 is 1,80,000. So from the above, it is clear which formula we can use here. We cannot use the first formula. We cannot use the second formula. We can use only the third formula, because we are given 2 years, 2006 and 2007, and we are given 2 sales, the sales for 2006 and the sales for 2007. In the same way, the profit for 2006 and the profit for 2007. So which means we have 2 sales and 2 profits, 2-year sales and 2-year profit. So once you are given the 2-year sales and the 2 years profit, it is very clear that we can use only the third formula for PV ratio, which says the change in profit divided by change in sales into 100. Okay, so now I'll find what is the change in profit. The last year, that is the 2006, my profit is 1 lakh. In 2007, my profit has increased to 1,80,000, which means the change in profit is 80,000. Then the change in sales. In 2006, my sales is 6 lakh. In 2007, the sales is increased to 10 lakh. From 6 lakh, it has come to 10 lakh, which means the difference in sales is 4 lakh. The change in sales is called as 4 lakh. So which means 80,000 by 4 lakh into 100 will give you 20%. So So I'm repeating again, only when you know all the three formulas for PV ratio, we can come to a conclusion which one is applicable here. The first one, a second one, a third one, depends upon the sum purely. Okay, then we'll go to the fourth sum. From the following, find out PV ratio. Fixed cost is 5 lakh, variable cost per unit is 10 rupees, selling price per unit is 15 rupees. Okay, we are going to find the PV ratio now. So unlike the previous two sums, we can clearly say here the data given in the sum is per unit. So once you know the per unit is given, we can use the second formula, not the first one, nor the third one. Okay, we can use only the first formula, second formula. Okay, the second formula is only applicable whenever you're given per unit in the sum. We cannot use the first one and we cannot use the third one as well, because the third one we need 2 years sales and the 2 years profit. The first one we need the total variable cost and the total sales. So we are not given total variable cost and total sales. We are given only per unit, which means we can use only the second formula. How I conclude that I can use only second formula? Only when I know all the three formulas. Okay. Now, for this particular sum, the formula is contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit into 100 will give you the PV ratio. How I will find the contribution per unit? The selling price per unit 15 rupees minus my variable cost per unit is 10 rupees. The same formula, contribution minus sales minus variable cost is contribution. Okay, the 15 rupees minus 10 rupees will give you 5 rupees. So which means 5 rupees is the contribution per unit divided by sales. Now I know the selling price per unit is 15 rupees. So 5 rupees divided by 15 rupees into 100 will give me my PV ratio. I'm using all, when I use a particular formula, I can use all the data is only in per unit. So here the variable cost is given in per unit, the selling price is given in per unit. Therefore, the formula is also used in per unit. The contribution per unit is 15 rupees minus 10 rupees is 5 rupees. The selling price per unit is 15 rupees. The PV ratio formula is contribution per unit divided by selling price per unit into 100. So contribution per unit is 5. Selling price per unit is 15. Into 100 will give me 33.333. Okay. So I'm repeating again and again and again. The important thing in this chapter is we have to memorize all the formulas, only then you can work out the sums. Without knowing all the formulas, we cannot work out the sums. We cannot come to a conclusion which formula is applicable in this particular sum. So please memorize the formulas thoroughly before we go to the next class. Okay, so take time to memorize this formula until we do the next class at least. Okay, thank you.